Well, glad to see you are back, stranger. I take it the Deadlands are treating you well. And with well, I mean, you're still not dead. For now, at least. That's great and all, but now I need to talk to you about the Deadlands itself, the various areas you can visit in your travels, the different types of locations in them, and most importantly, the types of loot you will find in said locations. If you're watching this guide, that means you're certainly surviving right now in one of these areas confirmed to be infested and overrun by the dead. Now, while each of these areas are unique, they sure share some similarities. You won't find zombies walking around in the wilderness. They are usually where you would normally find people, in towns, military locations, farms, etc. And inconveniently enough, that's where you'll also find the gear you're looking for. Also, military locations will have tougher zombies, dead soldiers still donning their not so trusty armor. And if you're unlucky enough to hear this, you might soon find yourself in the presence of a mega zombie, a force to be reckoned with, or as some of you might prefer, a nigga you wouldn't wanna fuck around with. And if that still didn't convince you to stay away from military locations for now, then well, let me just tell you that there are even more terrifying monsters lurking around in these dreadful areas. Creatures that are capable of annihilating you in seconds from far, far away, sometimes even unseen. And after killing you, unlike anything else you've faced till now, your loot will disappear after you die. Yes, I'm talking about other humans. Now, since we got that out of the way, let's talk about the types of locations you can visit on each map. First, you got the farms and camps. These locations are found on almost all maps. There you will find basic civilian clothes and weapons, food and seeds, maybe some tools and other common gadgets. Nothing too special. However, they are generally a great location to start your looting in, thanks to how easy it is to kill the zombies there and how rare it is for you to meet other humans. And even if you do, in most cases, they will be people who are just starting just like yourself. Those are usually friendly, but if they are not, they shouldn't be that hard to kill. Secondly, you have towns and cities. These differ in size, but usually have the same types of loot. The loot depends on the part of town you're searching in. For example, the loot you find in houses won't be the same as the loot you find in, let's say, a pizza shop. You will find weapons in the police stations and gun stores, medical supplies in hospitals and pharmacies, food in restaurants, you'll figure it out on your own. They are a great place to stop by to restock in supplies, get some civilian gear and medical items, and hopefully find a car. You will most likely meet other survivors here. Keep your eyes open. The great majority are not very friendly. Let the nakeds go if they won't harm you, but if you see someone with a weapon out, shoot first, ask questions later. Next on the list are military locations. They consist of the various military bases, checkpoints and convoy wrecks found all over the Deadlands. They contain by far the best loot you can ever find, be it clothes, weapons, tools, vehicles and everything else. The catch here is, as I mentioned earlier, here you will face much tougher zombies compared to their civilian equivalent. Mega zombies show up there, and there will always be some other survivors here, either inside the location itself or hiding on the hills looking to pick off easy prey, like yourself. A very helpful piece of advice is to actually scout around the hills before entering a military location, just to make sure there are no bush monsters anywhere. In here, if you see anything that resembles a human, just don't hesitate to fill them with lead holes. Other than that, you can also find some special locations that have their own special loot, or mixed loot similar to these items found in the previously mentioned location types. Some notable examples of such locations are Scorpion 7 in Washington, where you can find the S.T.A.L.K.E.R railgun and the biohazard suit, and Kiev in Russia, in which you will find almost any industrial/construction item you would need. And you'll also find specific locations which usually have ranger items in them, such as radio towers scattered all over the maps in Heritage Valley on Washington. Similarly, other locations that I mentioned earlier, such as farms or towns, may have mixed loot. For example, you can find industrial loot in a farm if it has a house with a garage, or military loot if there are like military tents in the town. There are also unlisted locations that does not appear on the map charts or the satellite view from the GPS, such as the bunker on Holman's Island in PEI or the scrapyard in Russia, and many more interesting hidden locations for you to explore all around these maps. I guess that's all I can say without, again, spoiling the fun of exploration for you, stranger. Remember, it never was, never is, and never will be easy in these damn deadlands. May Mello guide you. لا.
اهو بص.
وين فين؟
بص هناك مكان ما بقى. Please.